Hello there. So today I'd like to explain what I mean by the proper human diet, which I believe to be red meat. Now, I made a couple of videos recently on my channel about the carnivore diet and my experiences with the carnivore diet and what I do in terms of nutrition. And that, of course, raised a few questions. So I'd like to cover that, and I'd like to cover what I mean by the proper human diet. So, as you might have guessed, I like to eat a meat-based diet, and that's what I promote to other people for people's health and for their lifestyle. And it is my belief that the only diet that is species appropriate is actually meat based. So every species in the animal kingdom has a diet that is specific to them and it's appropriate for them. I know this because I'm a farmer. I keep cattle, and there's only one food group that I think is appropriate for my cattle, and that is plants, specifically like leafy grasses, leafy plants. Now, within that food group, of course, there's a diverse amount of plants that a cow can eat, and that's actually the beauty of its digestive system. But any other animal has one specific food that it's designed for. For example, there's birds that only go for one type of seed or one type of fruit or one type of nut. The koala, I think that's what it's called, only eats eucalyptus, I believe, or at least that's its preference. So it just goes for eucalyptus, and if it's not starving, it won't go for anything else. Okay, so most animal species, in fact all animal species, have one food group that they are designed to eat. For humans, I believe that is meat. So that's what we're designed to eat, that's what we thrive off, and that's what we're adapted to. It's been it's been thousands of years of adaptation, of course, but now we're at the point where we are adapted to eat meat solely. Or let me explain that. What I mean is that if you put a human on a solely red meat diet, we survive and we thrive, and we are adapted to that. There's no adverse effects. There's no other food groups where you can do that. If you live solely off a plant-based diet, you end up with nutrient deficiencies quite quickly, as unfortunately people find out when they go down sort of plant-based route in terms of their diet. They need to add in supplements to make it adequate, to make their diet adequate, and to make them to stop them from getting deficiencies. So any diet where you have to add supplements is therefore by definition deficient of nutrients. So that's fine. People choose their own diet and they supplement to try and keep themselves in good health. That's fine. But I'm here making the argument that the meat diet, a meat-only diet, is theoretically and in practice the only diet where humans can survive solely off one food group. Therefore, I believe it to be the proper human diet. Now, as I've explained in previous videos, I've experimented with just eating meat and meat-based foods, i.e. eggs, dairy, blah, blah, blah. And it served me quite well in the past. I still eat carbohydrates, I still eat fruits and plants here and there, and I'm still alive. So clearly we can cope with other food groups, that's not groundbreaking, but I'm saying that the only one we can survive solely off is meat. Now, I'm trying to get to the lesson here at the heart of this, which is that if people are looking to improve their health and they've got something that they need to work on in their health, or something they just don't know why it's wrong, why they feel wrong or look wrong, or they're not performing correctly, and we're going to look at, and if you are looking at your nutrition, I think it's important to understand what the proper human diet is and the fact that we're designed and adapted to eat meat. Because it breaks my heart. I know people who are trying to improve their health and they're just fiddling around and micromanaging the foods that they're eating, mostly plant foods with meat, and they're trying to perfect their macronutrients, their protein, fats, carbohydrates, and they're not seeing results in their life. They're not seeing results in their health, their body, their performance. And unfortunately, I believe it stems from a misunderstanding of what the proper human diet is. Whereas when we know that it's meat, we can eliminate foods and eliminate food groups everything except from meat until we find the right balance for us, and we find the healing and the health that we want in our bodies. And that's what the carnivore diet and the meat-only diet is. It's an elimination diet. That's the whole point. You eliminate food groups one by one, whatever you think's the most damaging you start with, and you go down the list, down the list, down the list. And if you find yourself at a sustainable level and a sustainable level of health, then you stop. That's fine. That's what I've done to some extent. But essentially, you can keep going until you're only eating meat and probably water and salt would be the fundamentals. And you try and address your whatever deficiencies or health problems you're addressing that way. And from there, you can reverse the process. You can put things back into your diet one by one and monitor your health, knowing that you've started from a safe, stable, sustainable, that rhymes, base. So that's what the carnivore diet is. That's why people are doing this. No doubt you've seen people, probably like myself, advocating for the carnivore diet. That's why we're doing it. Don't get it twisted. It's not just some dogma. It's not just some fad diet. We're trying to do this because it's the proper human diet, and we're trying to heal people's health. Okay, so I think that explains everything I wanted to explain today. I'd be very open to more questions and comments. Drop them in the comments. I really enjoy hearing from other people's experiences, and I will say this: when I posted a video about the carnivore diet a few weeks back, it's the one that's got quite a few views, and it's got me with a big whiteboard. Go and find that. It really pleased me to see, I think, a couple hundred comments at least, with a lot of people that have found a lot of health and a lot of success through addressing their health problems through diet and meat-based diets. And that was really good to see. And it's just proof that we do have some agency over our diet and our health. And it's not just up to the winds. It's not just up to the gods. You know, we really can do something about it. If you don't feel the way you want to feel, you can do something about it. So go and watch that other video, and any other video from my channel for that matter. And do leave a comment if you'd like. Thank you for being here with me, and I hope you learned something. We'll see you next time.